Welcome back, and we are back with Virginia Congressman Bob Goodlatte, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, just a few days after the Inspector General dropped the beginning of the Inspector General report, which has been highly anticipated. And this part of the report, Congressman, is dealing with Andrew McCabe and how he lied on 4 different occasions, 3 times under oath. It appears now that McCabe and Comey and Loretta Lynch are contradicting each other in terms of what went on. A moment ago, we were talking about that phone call that Andrew McCabe discussed, having heard from senior Attorney General assistants about the Clinton investigation. And you said this may very well go higher up into the Obama White House. What do you expect?
Well, I don't want to say what I expect. I want to say that this investigation needs to be thoroughly pursued within the Department of Justice, within the Federal Bureau of Investigation under its new leadership with Christopher Wray, by the outside United States Attorney, Mr. Huber from Utah, outside of Maine Justice, who's been appointed by Attorney General Sessions to look into this, and by the United States Congress. And it's why we need to have access to those documents. And certainly the United States Attorney can take the appropriate steps to pursue appropriate criminal action if it is warranted.
Are there criminal referrals within this IG report?
I do not know the answer to that, but certainly those examining the report can make a determination whether or not they should pursue that, regardless of whether or not the Inspector General believes that to be the case. They can take his information, the information they have themselves, and make the appropriate decision to do that. And they should, if the Inspector General and or the outside United States Attorney and the Department of Justice itself believes that Mr. McCabe took steps that violated the law.
Well, I mean, what I'm asking really is the American people want to know, where is this going? You know, we know now that the Inspector General says that Andrew McCabe lied under oath. And we know now that he was overseeing the Clinton investigation as well as the Trump investigation up until a week before the election. And we know that there was a conflict with his wife, having received hundreds of thousands of dollars before that in her failed bid for a state Senate seat. So where does this go? I mean, will people feel like there was accountability? Because we know plenty of other people who have gone to jail for lying under oath, which is a felony.
Well, you're absolutely right, Maria, and the fact of the matter is that the Department of Justice should pursue the truth wherever it leads them, and should draw the appropriate conclusions about whether or not Mr. McCabe committed perjury or violated some other law that requires action be taken in that regard. And I certainly support continuing this investigation on their part, because that's exactly what we're trying to do in the House of Representatives, considering the fact that nothing was done during the Obama years, and very little was done at the beginning of this administration to pursue these facts. And the fact that we have persisted in this regard, and the department is waking up to the reality that serious damage has been done to the important reputation of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that's all a part of restoring the American people's trust in the premier law enforcement organization of the country.
And yet, astoundingly, all of this has occurred on Jim Comey's watch, and he right now is on a book tour talking about his new book, talking about his criticism of President Trump, and very few questions about his performance and his underlings' performance, like Andrew McCabe, and their complicit abuse of power.
Again, that's the reason why Chairman Gowdy and I have launched this investigation between the Judiciary Committee and the Oversight and Government Reform Committee into what happened in the leadership of the FBI during the 2016 election. And Democrats and independents, everyone, American people should be very concerned about the matters that were undertaken at that time. And Democrats should be extremely concerned about the fact that Mr. Comey announced publicly a week or 10 days before the election that he was reopening the investigation. He could have informed people in the Congress prior to reopening that investigation that he was going to do so, and then the facts could have come out after the election. But if I were a Democrat, I'd be very disturbed about the fact that he made that decision. I think his book is going to confirm that he took inappropriate steps here, and that Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein, who's the person who actually made the decision to terminate Mr. Comey, made the correct decision.
All right, we will leave it there. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for joining us.